Do you buy stickers for your card making stash but get stuck on what to do with them? Well, let's change that. In this video, we'll be making 5 different cards with clear stickers so you can show your sticker stash who's boss. That's you, by the way. You're the boss. Hey everyone, it's Ali. Thanks so much for joining me for this card making tutorial. The stickers we're using in today's video are these clear strawberry themed stickers which all have holographic foil details on them. Aren't they gorgeous? I showed them in a recent AliExpress craft haul and so many of you wanted to see how I'd use them on cards. The first card we'll be making today is a flat shaker style card using Vellum, and it's a lot easier than it sounds. We'll start with a piece of pattern paper and a piece of vellum that is slightly larger than the paper. If you're worried about this being fiddly, you can add an extra inch to the size of your vellum. This will just give you a bit more to grab hold of. I like to live life on the edge, so I've cut mine probably slightly too small. I'm adding strong double-sided tape on all 4 sides of the vellum, which will secure it to the back of our pattern paper. But before we fold up any flaps, I like to cut the corners off my vellum to remove any unnecessary bulk on my card. Once that's done, we'll fold up the flaps on 3 sides and stick them to the back of the pattern paper. I like to burnish the creases with my bone folder to get a really nice crisp edge. Don't fold up the 4th flap though, we'll need to leave this open to add our shaker bits. Now it's the fun bit, filling our shaker wrap. I've chosen a bunch of different sequins to add to mine, all different sizes and various shades of pink, red and cream to match my stickers. I'm using this little spoon from Nuvo by Tonic. It makes it really easy to control how many sequins I'm scooping from the bags. I could just pour them in, but I can be very clumsy with sequins. You don't have to use sequins here, you can get creative. You can add in gems, pearls, little polymer clay pieces, mica powders, little die cuts, even tiny paper scraps would look great. The last thing I'm going to add is some iridescent glitter. I don't pull glitter out often because it makes a massive mess, but as this will be contained, it seemed like the perfect opportunity, although I still got it all over me and all over my craft room, of course. Once you're happy with the amount of filling in your shaker, just peel back the last bit of adhesive release paper and fold that final flap to seal the pouch. Making shakers this way is so much easier than trying to build shaped layers or mess around with foam tape. I think I might make all my shakers this way from now on. Now our shaker pouch is done, it's time to add our stickers. These stickers have a gloss finish, which does contrast a little bit with the matte vellum. If you prefer, you can use acetate instead to make a shaker card exactly the same way. I've already die cut a sentiment, so I'm using that as a guide to lay out my stickers. I want them to create a sort of random pattern in the background. Because our stickers are clear, we'll still be able to see the sequins in the shaker moving around behind them, which I think looks really cool. Once all the stickers are on, it's time to finish assembling our sentiment and attaching all our elements together. Because the shaker pouch is very busy, I've kept the rest pretty minimal. Well, if you can class holographic foil as minimal. But since all the stickers have holographic foil, what better to use for mats and layers in this video than holographic foil cardstock? It's probably bad luck to kick off a video with your favourite card, but never mind. This one is totally my favourite. Let's move on to something a little bit simpler next though. For the next card, we'll be taking advantage of the clear stickers by using them on an acetate window. I've die cut a window from just the front panel of my card, which will be large enough for my sticker to sit comfortably inside. These dies actually have stitching on the inside and outside of the circle, which will leave me with a nice stitch detail outside the aperture on my card. Next, I'll glue in a piece of acetate inside my card as my window, and I'll also die cut a frame using 2 of those scalloped circle dies. This is totally optional, it's just to cover up the glue marks behind the acetate on the inside of the card. You could glue your acetate on the front of the card and add the frame that way, if you prefer. Now I'll add my sticker to the acetate window, and all that is left to do is the sentiment. I've cut 2 layers of this decorative banner die, a holographic one and a white one, and I'll cut the white one down to just be a panel over the top of the holographic card so I can stamp directly on the white. I can use a clear sentiment stamp and sort of bend it in my stamp positioner to follow the curve of the die cut. This is such a cool technique and I often forget to use it. Have you ever tried this before? Once that's stamped, I just need to glue the 2 layers together and then I'll attach this with a bit of foam tape for dimension. The card still felt like it was missing something, so I've pulled out 2 sizes of pink sequins and added several of these across the card just for a finishing touch. It's so pretty how these holographic details catch the light, and doesn't that stitching around the aperture really add a nice touch? For our third card today, we'll be using some pattern paper and our stickers to make an easy background. I've used this pastel watercolour style pattern paper, but anything pastel will do, and you could either make your own backgrounds with watercolour paints or using an ink smooshing technique. If you don't know what ink smooshing is, I'll link a video up in the cards that will teach you all about it. This card is finished off with another holographic matting layer and a die cut sentiment, cut from that holographic foil cardstock. You might have guessed that will be featuring a lot in this video. Just need to add this onto a card front and we're good to go. This card is probably the fastest one to make and helps you use up stickers and pattern paper at the same time. Two things I definitely need to get using up in my craft room. On to card number 4, and we're making a background again, but with a completely different look to the last card. I'm going to start with my sentiment this time, and I'm stamping onto that leftover piece of white cardstock from my aperture card earlier. You didn't think that was going to go to waste, did you? I'm using another stamping technique I love here, ombre stamping. I just add 2 colours of ink directly to the stamp, starting with the lighter colour and blending the darker colour on just with the ink pad. I love how I can bring the pinks and reds of the stickers here into the sentiment, so much fun. I'll add that sentiment onto a square piece of holographic foil cardstock using some foam tape for dimension, and then start adding my stickers behind to make the background. The holographic foil matches the sticker details, but it will also show through any clear spots in the stickers too. Don't forget, you can cut into your stickers as well. Many of these are hanging off the edge of the background, so I just cut pieces off and add them elsewhere on the card. Waste not, want not. I actually use the entire set of stickers for the cards in this tutorial, apart from 2 stickers I have left over, which would be great to add onto an envelope or even inside the cards. Once I've finished adding all these stickers onto my background, I just need to add this piece to a card front. For a final touch, I'm adding some of the red sequins we used earlier around the sentiment, just to break up some of that white space. And just because I like to add sequins. I love how this card catches the light and makes rainbows all over it. What could be better to brighten someone's day? We're on to the final card now, and here's an idea for just using a few stickers but still making an impact on your card. First, I'll add my focal image sticker to another leftover holographic die cut from an earlier card. How cute is this little vase? Although it does say raspberry when they're actually strawberries, but I guess we can ignore that. I'm adding 2 skinny strips of holographic foil cardstock onto the card with a gap between that's slightly smaller than a die cut piece. Using a thick cardstock for this will make the next steps a bit easier, by the way. I'm going to fill this strip in with my stickers, but I want them to almost look like they are behind the strips, so I'll stick them down and then using a craft knife carefully cut the stickers using the cardstock strips as a guide and peeling away the overlapping pieces. You could cut the stickers first, but honestly I found this easier and quicker, and it's really easy to peel back the stickers from the holographic foiled card too. Most of these offcuts I will use elsewhere on this card, so I actually only ended up using 5 stickers overall on this entire design, including that focal image. By the way, all the products I use in this video will be linked down in the description box for you if you want to check them out. Once I've trimmed all the overhanging pieces, I can add my die cut using some more foam tape for dimension. I'm really getting to the bottom of my foam tape stash now, and this one wasn't very sticky, so I had to put some liquid glue on it to revive it. That also gives the added bonus of giving you a bit more wiggle room when you stick it down. Once that's on, I add a mini stamped and die cut sentiment there on the right and add the whole panel to a card base. I really love how this card turned out. If you're not big on holographic foil, this is definitely one of the less in-your-face designs. Those are all the cards I have to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed making them with me. Are you ready to tackle your sticker stash now and make some projects with them? I'd love to know in the comments which of these cards was your favourite. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up before you go, and subscribe to my channel for lots more card making tutorials and other crafty videos. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you back here on my channel very soon. Bye!